Good morning, world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Tuesday, December 26th, 2023. Happy holidays to everyone joining me live here today. I'm J.E. Skeets in the yard to recap yesterday's 5 Christmas Day games. Before we tackle those, a quick shout out to the Stream Team sickos for joining us here on YouTube. Hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. And hey, share the show with an NBA friend. As for you dedicated podcast listeners, if you haven't done so already, please consider leaving No Dunks a 5-star rating and review. Blessings upon blessings upon blessings. Final note here before I get into yesterday's Christmas Day slate. We've had some wedgies over the break. By my count, we've had 4 since we last left you. 2 in a Clippers Thunder game last week, and then 2 more in a Jazz Raptors game on Festivus of all days. So that was fun. We will make sure to show you those wedgies when we're all back in the Classic Factory. Because it's just Skeetsy here this morning. Again, on Boxing Day. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy holidays. I hope everybody got what they wanted for Christmas, if you do celebrate that. I will say, go check out the latest Is This Good podcast. Link in the show notes. My wife, Nora, made her debut podcast appearance on Is This Good. I was there with her, Mattio, JD, lots of Christmas talk. But I bring that up, A, because you should go check it out. Great podcast. And B, I tell a story on that pod about getting boots when I was like 13, 14 years old at my grandparents'. And it was devastating. I had realized that very Christmas it was over. There was no more toys for young Skeetsy. I was getting boots. I was a man. Hilariously, I got boots yesterday from Nora for Christmas. And I was pumped. 43-year-old Skeets loves boots. 13-year-old Skeets hated it. But yeah, go check Is This Good out. And while we're talking fashion here, before we jump into all 5 games, I'm going to touch on them. A few notes. I watched all of them yesterday, except I started to tire for the Mavericks Suns game. So I watched that one this morning, and we'll get to Luka and his 50-piece. But just in thinking about it, I thought they were fairly entertaining. But I'm with LeBron. Let's bring back the Christmas Day jerseys, right? I know they got the little snowflake patch on the back. Fine. Seen it before, I believe. Nothing special. But why, in an era where we have way too many jerseys, like every team's got 10 of them, we can't have a special Christmas one for the 10 teams that play? Like, I love the script ones. Remember those ones? Sort of just like there's no better way to say it, like a holiday script with like sort of like calm tones. I love those ones. So let's get every NBA player in those Christmas Day jerseys. Bring them back. You're right, LeBron. And double down on it. I say everybody has to play in boots. What do you think? Hit the like button if you think NBA players on Christmas Day should have to play in boots. This, by the way, is the show I was talking about. A very Is This Good Christmas. ITG. Just showing the thumbnail for everybody on YouTube. With my wife, my beautiful wife there, Nora. And, me in glasses. There you go. You don't get to see that often, do you? So go check that out. Link is in the show notes. Okay, let's get into the games. I don't plan on being here very long. We're going to tackle them in order, just like I watched them, just like you hopefully watched them. Jalen Brunson scores 38 as the Knicks snapped the Bucks' 7-game win streak with the 129-122 victory. To quote Hubie Brown, who must have said it 5 or 6 times on the broadcast yesterday, if you're a Knicks fan, you're happy. And then he would usually say something about the physicality and how they were playing. But, again, you're a Knicks fan, you're probably happy here this morning and yesterday. The Knicks had lost 9 straight times to the Bucks, including one on Saturday when Milwaukee beat them 130-111 to open this weird 2-game series here. I say weird because it's like 1 game on Saturday and we get 1 on Christmas. But yeah, Jalen Brunson, the star in this one, though. Everybody else contributing, Julius Randle, 24 points and 9 boards. RJ Barrett, good bounce back game from him. He had 21 points. Quickly, coming off the bench for 20 points in 22 minutes. A lot of talk about this guy needs more opportunity. He's cooking right now, but Brunson led the way, especially from the first quarter. He was getting brief MVP chance after a tough and one finish there near the end of the first quarter. And I tweeted yesterday, I'm going to go crazy when Brunson is like 5th or 6th among East guards when it comes to the first fan vote. For the first fan vote, easy for me to say, when it comes out for the 24 All-Star game, because you know that's going to be coming soon. Knicks fans should have this guy starting. There's no excuse. Knicks fans are a loud and proud bunch. Brunson should be starting the game. Okay? Do your work. Get on your NBA app and place your votes. You should have done it yesterday. It was a 3-for-1 day. Brunson's averaging 26 points per game, 6 and 4, shooting splits of 48, 46 from deep, and 80 at the line. Cooking. He's amazing. I mean, I was one of the few last year saying, come on, Brunson should be the Knicks All-Star, not Randall. And Randall got there, and that's okay. But Brunson will be there. There's no doubt. Like, he'll be selected by the coaches if need be. He should be starting. He's been one of the best guards in the Eastern Conference this year. So Knicks fans got to play their part. My only other note really from this one was Milwaukee, they cut it to like a 4-point game. It was like 77-73 about midway through the third quarter. And then Josh Hart just had an awesome little burst of like 4 buckets. 3 of them, I guess, came in a row. But near the end of the period, he hit a nice little floater. Hart did in the lane. That was a classic all attention on Jalen Brunson. They threw multiple bodies at him, make the easy pass. Hart hits a little floater. Soon after that, Hart grabbed a rebound. Forget which Bucks player missed a corner 3. It may have been Bobby Portis. And Hart took it and went coast to coast, and he drew the goaltend. Really nice. A really nice move by him, just really aggressive. Then he used a pick from Taj Gibson. Yeah, Taj is in there, baby, on Christmas. Little side pick and roll action. Good pick from Gibson. Hart gets into the lane. Tough little fadeaway jumper for him. And then he ended the queue with a fast break dunk, thanks to a pretty sloppy Damian Lillard turnover. So really, really impressive Knicks win. I mean, this was one like Knicks needed it more. They had to prove that they could actually beat this team if they match up against them in a playoff series. So good win. And I thought a pretty good game to get everything started here. You always want that first game to sort of set the tone. And that was a good one. Moving on. Let's talk about Steve Kerr being disgusted. Jokic, a perfect 18 of 18 from the free throw line as the Nuggets beat the Warriors 120-114. Joker finishing with 26 points despite 4 of 12 shooting from the floor. But yes, career high with 18 made free throws, a lot of them coming in the second half. Nuggets 26 of 32 from the line. And I'm going to read you what Steve Kerr said after the game. Quote, I have no problem with the officials themselves. I like how he starts that. I have a problem with the way we are legislating defense out of the game. That's what we're doing. The way we're teaching officials, we're just enabling players to fool their way to the foul line. If I was a fan, I wouldn't have wanted to watch the second half of that game. It was disgusting. It was just baiting refs into calls, but the refs have to make those calls because that's how they're taught. End quote. I will add that Curry added, a night like tonight, you feel like there's physicality on one side and then kind of ticky-tack on the other, and then they get into the bonus and then it changes the complexion of the game. End quote there on Curry. So, this is making waves. He's making headlines here. Kerr pointing this out, how Jokic got an easy, kind whistle on Christmas. I think Kerr is right. Look, if you watch the game, there are a couple instances of Jokic either dribbling the ball down the court or just running down the court, drawing some minimal contact from a Warriors player, be it the Rook, Jackson Davis, or Saric on one of them. And then Jokic sort of sells it with a bit of a flail, a look at the official. Whoop. That was my whistle. Whoop. It was a weird whistle. Foul called, 2 free throws if they're in the bonus because it was putting pressure. You start accumulating all these stupid fouls or ticky-tack fouls, whatever you want to call them, and then you're going to get to the line, and hence why Jokic is going there nonstop there in the second half. Yeah, those were bad. I mean, no, I don't think a lot of people, I don't even think Nuggets fans are like, okay, that's cool. Awesome. Good foul. When it's like away from the ball or at half court and like guys bump and then you sell it, it's like, ugh. Superstars have been baiting referees to make these calls since James Naismith put up the peach baskets, right? That's not going to change anytime soon. But the flip side of this is to call out Jokic, and I get it because Kerr's calling out this game, but like this guy is not an extreme volume free throw shooter by any means. I think he shoots like 6.5 a game. That's like 18th in the league. This is like a 2-time MVP. This is a superstar of the league. So he's not like the number one main culprit. Also, you ever seen this guy's arms? Just like scratched to hell. He's always bleeding. You feel like every game there's a quick stoppage to get a towel and a Band-Aid on him because his arms are all cut up. So both things can be true is what I'm saying, though. Like, on one hand, I don't think Jokic does this all that often. He did yesterday. He realized they're going to call this. And I'm just going to, little bump, little contact, little hold, little push, chuck my arms up. Maybe I'll get it. And they were calling it. So that would be frustrating if you're Kerr and the Warriors. But on the other hand, again, I don't think this is a guy that does it all that often. I mean, there are worse guys to draw fouls or to trick the referees than Jokic. But he was doing it yesterday. And it wasn't fun. It was obviously a lot of stoppage of play. And it really bogged the game down. And it did change the complexion of the game. I get what Curry's saying. That all said, it was back and forth in the second half. I think there was 9 lead changes. I was loving Wiggins and Jamal Murray, 2 good old Canadian boys, trading fourth quarter baskets. Jamal, when he's on fire, I saw Dan Devine tweet this. When he's got it going, Jamal Murray really has one of the most gorgeous games in the league. He's such an aesthetically pleasing player. Truth, Dan Devine. I wish I could give you a hug for that one. It's awesome when he has it going, and he did there late. And that's when you see Jamal Murray play at that level. That's when you're like, well, yeah, they could repeat. They could win a championship again. He has to be at that level. Porter started hot. That was good. But it was Jamal Murray with the takeover and then the Jokic free throws. Also loved that the Nuggets got one of these primetime slots here on Christmas Day. This second slot, 2:30 p.m. Eastern. I checked 3 of Jokic's previous Christmas Day games. They all tipped at 10:30. They all had that last game. Too many casuals. Hell, even the sickos, as I just said, I'm a little basketballed out by then. So, Jokic had I had forgotten Jokic had a 41, 15, and 15 game last Christmas. Again, last game of the day. That was a really entertaining game. It's probably one of the best Christmas Day games we've had in a while. But it's in that last slot. I know this doesn't matter to some of you West Coast people, but like East Coasters, international people, although maybe it's morning by the time that's happening. My point is, you're a little exhausted. So it was cool to see Denver in this earlier slot on Christmas Day. I like that. That's a nice little switch up there. And they got the win, even if it was a lot of Jokic free throws. But let's hear from you guys. I'm sure you're, sounding off here in the stream team right now in the comments. Tough for me to do everything here. Try and talk to you. Try and run the show. And then also read your comments. But when it comes to free throws, people get opinionated. So I'll have to go back and read what you guys are saying there. Moving on to our third game. Porzingis and the Celtics started strong. They pick up the 126-115 Christmas Day win over AD, who went for 40, and the Lakers had LeBron struggling in this one. Even Tatum sort of struggling from the field, though he was great at playmaking. Of all the games, I probably have the least amount of notes on this one. Just felt like the Celtics crushed them. I know they scored the first 12 points. They're up 18. Lakers got back in the game because this is the NBA, and it doesn't matter if you have a 20-point lead. But it never really felt like the Lakers were going to win this game. The Celtics, man, when everybody is contributing like they did yesterday, I'm watching this game going, it's really going to take either Giannis, Embiid, or Jokic to beat the Celtics. They have the best record in the NBA. They're just kicking ass. They're just going about their business. And again, when you get everybody like Porzingis with the 28 points on 11 and 19 shooting, Tatum with 25, again, not an amazing game from him. Brown, 19 points. We had the hot start from Jalen Brown. He had that little injury there. the accidental sort of knee to the back. He did return from LeBron, but he got 19. White 18 and the Drew Holiday 18. Man, what are they calling White and Drew Holiday in Boston? Are they calling them the stock report because steals and blocks? It's something like that. They were just dominant, two-way performances. Both those guys, Derek White, season high 11 assists, just great. And they do look like right now, as we get close to the start of 2024, the team that looks it went healthy. Maybe the team to beat, but I like I said, I'm fascinated to see if one of those giants of the game can do it. Though Porzingis has been great all season. I mean, he should be in an all-star conversation. I know a lot of talk on Twitter yesterday was Derek White should be an all-star. Wow, maybe he's good. He's very good. But then you're like, he might still be the fourth or fifth best player on this team when they're at their apex. But a lot of nights he usually is their second best player. That's what he's got going for him. But other news from this, Gabe Vincent for the Lakers. He's going to undergo knee surgery. That's going to rule him out 6 to 8 weeks. Shams of The Athletic had that. Huge blow to him, to the Lakers. Maybe leaves them with a decision to make here ahead of the trade deadline. If you don't remember, Gabe Vincent had barely played at all, returned for a couple of games, and then is right back out to get this knee surgery. Ham, in a win against the Thunder, I guess that was on the weekend, D'Angelo Russell out of the starting lineup. Jared Vanderbilt in there. It worked for that one against OKC. But will that change now with the Gabe Vincent news? And again, will they look to be a little active at the trade deadline? And who does that entail? I mean, obviously we hear a lot of Zach LaVine trade rumors to LA, not the point guard, not the guard you may be looking for, but then do you really need that when you have LeBron? So rough news for Lakers fans there. They not only get the loss, but Gabe Vincent out for a couple months. 2 more games left. And this one was surprisingly fun. No Embiid, no Jimmy Butler. So you're maybe like, ugh. But it was close. And Jaime Jaquez Jr. scored 31 points. I love that Spoelstra stays perfect on Christmas Day. He's 9-0. Heat beat the 76ers 119-113. Some wild stats coming out of this one for Jaquez Jr. He joined Wilt Chamberlain, Oscar Robinson, Patrick Ewing, and Walt Bellamy as the only rookies with 30 points and 10 rebounds on Christmas. Look at that list. Now Jaquez Jr. I'm pumped. Very pumped about this. I wasn't alone in talking up Jaquez Jr. at the start of the season, but you'll remember, you sickos will at least, when we're doing our preseason shows and we're debating Rookie of the Years, I'm showing some love to this guy. Look, it's probably going to be Wemby. It's probably going to be Chet. This guy's going to be on the all-rookie first team. Maybe he's even making some noise and like butting his way into the conversation. We've got the MVP table. Do we have a Rookie of the Year table? That's like the kids' table at Christmas, right? He's there. He's sitting there. He's so just damn good. He's such a Heat player, though. I saw Ziller write this. Put this guy on any team. Any team, give him minutes. He's not going to ever hurt you. He's only going to help you. When you watch yesterday's game, and it was cool. I'm sure a lot of people are like, who the heck is this guy? Who's this cool-looking guy with the goatee? I guess, is it a goatee? It looks sort of like a pirate look, I guess, more. Jaquez Jr. cuts off the ball. So good at that. We saw it early in the game when he was up top. He flashed through the paint. Bam, who had a sneaky, quiet, good game. Bam found him sort of cutting back door, easy layup. Then late in the game, Lowry, who also I thought had a really good game, touched paint. Jaquez Jr. Spotted up in the corner where he's a great three-point shooter. Cut to the rim, saw the little gap there, found him, dunk. So cutting off the ball, this guy's fantastic already as an older rookie at that. He's comfortable with the corner three, which is why he's like posted up there. I think he shoots 39% on corner threes this season from those spots on the floor. And he's just smart as hell. 2-point game. There's one play that comes to mind. 2-point game. He gets ISO'd on the side with Tobias Harris. And he decides, I'm going to bully ball him a little bit. Throws him a pump fake party. Merry Christmas to you, Tobias. Like Tobias jumps on it and then just hits a little, easy little sort of hook shot, little push shot, whatever you want to call it, right there in the lane. And it's like, you watch that play and you're like, it feels flipped, right? It feels like Tobias Harris is the rookie and Jaquez Jr. is like, the 10-year vet or however long Tobias Harris has been in the league. Like, it feels like roles are reversed. Like, that's just like smart basketball. And he got him. He was awesome. Big reason why they win this game. He scored in double figures. Jaquez Jr. has in 16 of his last 17 games. He's averaging 16 points per game over his last 23. And yesterday, 11 of 15, 8 of 8 at the line. Just, he's so good. He's so good. It was also one of those weird, I call classic Miami Heat games where it's just like the weirdest runs in the game. Philly starts hot. Miami opens a huge lead. And then 76ers don't even need like a full quarter to erase a 21-point Heat advantage. And then we get this sort of entertaining fourth quarter. They play a lot of weird games like that, Miami does. Again, maybe a little unfortunate for some of the casuals out there. No Embiid, reigning MVP, no Jimmy Butler there in Miami on Christmas Day. But I thought it was still one of the more entertaining games. I was locked into it. Maybe I had a second win there when this one came around, and I was pumped with Jaquez Jr. going off. Final game. As I said off the top, I watched it this morning, and missed quite the show there live at least. Luka scores 50 to eclipse 10,000 for his career. Mavs beat the Suns 128-114. Luka continues to torture the Phoenix Suns and their fan base. He's saying it was his house after a deep three there. He had 15 assists to go along with the 50 points, 6 boards, 4 steals, 3 blocks. I think I saw a tweet right before I jumped on here that Basketball Reference says they don't have a game like that in their database. Like, this doesn't exist, those type of numbers in one particular game. He also hit 8 3-pointers, which tied a Christmas record. He was perfect at the line. He was 12 of 25 from the field. And according to CBS Sports, no active player has ever scored more in a Christmas Day game. We got Bernard King with the 60. Everybody knows that. Will Chamberlain with 59. I think everybody forgets that one. And then he has now tied, Luka has, Rick Barry for 50 points on the holiday there. And also, if that wasn't cool enough for you, with about 5 minutes to go in the first quarter, Luka casually cashes a 35-footer to cross the 10,000 career point mark for his NBA career. Only 5 other players have scored 10,000 points before their 25th birthday. Can you name them? You probably can. Maybe one is tough, but it's LeBron, duh. Kobe, duh. KD, duh. Melo, probably a duh. And then Tracy McGrady, I think, if you tested people with that trivia, would maybe forget him or knew that he had scored 10,000 points by before he turned 25. Obviously came in as a high schooler, but amazing. You do wonder if there isn't enough MVP attention being given to Luka right now. It's Jokic, it's Embiid. They sort of, have flip-flopped a little bit to start the season. You got Shea popping his head in there. Tatum, considering the Celtics record. Halliburton was there for a bit. Giannis is always in the mix with his numbers, but Luka's, if you're filling out a ballot here today for top 5, he's gotta be on your ballot. I was looking for the MVP table picture. Here it is with the hilarious Jerome Photoshop. And then I remembered when looking for it that we have a new MVP table photo that we took at the most recent No Dunks Christmas party with Jerome and with Esh. And not a single other thing really on the table except I'm holding a whiskey and there's a candle, I think. It's a very weird setup of the photo. But anyway, note to self, upload that new photo, the MVP table photo, to the StreamYard. But yes, he's there because the Mavs are 18-12. That's good for 5th in the West. Luka's averaging an absurd 33.5 points per game, 9.5 assists, 8.5 rebounds. And his running mate, Kyrie Irving, hasn't played in like 9 straight games now. And Derek Lively had missed some games. Good to see him back. He had missed, I think, 4 games with that ankle sprain. He's awesome. Right away, started this game, like Luka finding him for easy buckets. He had 20 and 10 as a awesome rook as well. Lively the second. So yeah, I think Luka's pretty handedly at this point top 5. I guess the only thing against them is like the Mavs record compared to a lot of the other leaders is not as good. I mean, it's still a 60, what is it, a 60% win percentage? But a lot of these other guys have a better record right now. Phoenix, not good for them. Out of the play-in, half a game behind the Warriors for the number 10 seed. They're a game below 500 now, 14 and 15. They're on a 3-game losing streak. They've lost 3. They're 3 and 9 in their last 12. And then Woj telling a national audience yesterday, people in Phoenix are sensing Durant's frustration. The franchise knows they're sort of stuck, though, with this group. I saw Ziller again in his newsletter this morning. The Suns have no more young players to flip. They have no more draft picks or pick swaps to move. They have no veterans with any real trade value. This is the team. You got to hope that Beal comes back and he's healthy and they can figure this out. Because Ziller, to quote him, unless you're truly gutted and you start considering Booker's future, which you absolutely cannot do at this point, there's nowhere to go but through it. End quote, again from Ziller there, and that is spot on. And you'd be insane to even consider that. You got to weather this storm. And I should say, I mean, Eric Gordon a little upset with his role. Hey, I'm a scorer. What am I doing here? It's not good in the desert. After what was a really solid start, I thought, especially with injuries, they were doing really, really well. And it was like, oh God, wait till this team's, fully healthy. They're going to be a juggernaut, and they still might be. I sort of still believe, but yeah, just bad vibes seep in very quickly with a Kevin Durant team too. The guy does, I'd like to play poker with this guy. I feel like he is not good at, hiding his emotions, which is good. I mean, it's sort of admirable in a way, but sometimes maybe he's just a grumpy Gus. And so when you're losing and you get asked about it, it comes off like, oh, yeah, well, you're right. This is bad. Where you are in your career, you want to win championships, and you're like looking around like, what move is left to be made here? We just got to play better. And we need these bench guys to step up, which was sort of funny because Metu and Grayson Allen had a decent game yesterday. Anyway, awesome Luka performance. Good Mavs win. And that's all I got. Those are the 5 games. I could quickly look at the comments here, but I would have to go scrolling. A lot of talk about Durant here. Yeah. He's up. He's upset. He's frustrated. He's like, I'm playing on Christmas for this. See Luka drop 50 on my head. 9 games on tonight, and there is no bigger game than the Nets at the Pistons. The NBA single-season losing streak, it's on the line. They've lost 26 straight this season. Detroit has. You might remember the Pistons winning a game on October 28th. They beat the Bulls handedly in their 3rd game of the season. The victory gave Detroit a winning record on the season, 2-1. I was talking them up. Like, just a feisty bunch. This might be the year they're flirting with the play-in. They haven't won since. They're 2-27. It's insane. They haven't won. They have not won a game since before Halloween. I mean, all the holidays have come and gone, and they still have not won a game. So tonight, if they lose, when they lose, I don't know. I'm probably jinxing it now. But if they lose, that will be 27 straight, and they will solely have the record for longest losing streak in a single season. The Sixers still hold I think it's stupid, but the 1 over 2 seasons, whatever it got up to, was it 28? So whatever. I'm all about, one streak, one season. So we'll see if Detroit can. They'll either be tied with that bad Cavs team and the bad Sixers team for 26 straight in the same season, or they'll have it to themselves. I actually want them to have it by themselves. Because then when you bring it up the next time, it'll just be one team. They're like, oh yeah, man. Remember the 23-24 Pistons? Man, remember when they won, when they lost, 35 straight games? That's just better. That's just better for us sickos that want to remember these weird things. So that's one to watch. And obviously a bunch of other games on. Is there football on again? NFL football been on for like 5 straight days now. It's crazy. I don't know. It's Monday. No, it's not Monday. It's Tuesday. They may be done. So enjoy the NBA. Thanks for joining me here. I will remind you once again, go check out Is This Good? My wife, Nora, making her podcast debut. I've only done 3,500 podcasts. Never wanted to come on No Dunks. Never wanted to talk about Luka. Never wanted to talk about Porzingis or LeBron or Curry. Why did I say Porzingis? But she went on Is This Good? And she was fantastic. So go check that out. Link in the show notes. Plan for us moving forward is probably a podcast at the end of the week. Tassie's still up in Canada. Trey's in Illinois. But the boys start getting back at some point this week, and I think we'll probably get into the factory even. Maybe at the end of the week. Maybe we'll hit you with a drop at the end of the week. Yeah? If that's what you want, hit the like button, subscribe, tell a friend, and leave us a 5-star rating and review. Otherwise, we'll call it there. Happy holidays again to everyone. I hope you got boots. And, let's hear from our good friend. Let's say Merry Christmas to this gentleman.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Yes, thank you for turning up indeed. We'll see you later in the week. And if you also haven't checked out the squad episode on Friday that we dropped, that was a Christmas special. That was a treat. And the one before that, we did the whole Hamakashlema catalog bit, which we also clipped and put up on YouTube. So we got lots of content for you guys to chew on, to keep you busy while you're out walking the dog or shoveling the driveway or just got tired of talking to your siblings. I'm trying my best here to keep you entertained. All right, guys, we'll see you at the end of the week. Happy holidays. Peace.
You could stay